Again, starting out being mindful of our spinal alignment. So crown of the head to the sky, spine over top of the pelvis. Let's take our right arm and bring it up and over, patting ourselves on the back with our right hand. And then taking the left hand and grabbing onto the right elbow and gently pulling backwards for a bit of a tricep stretch. And in this pose, we'll try to relax the shoulders down and away from the ears, so releasing any tension. And breathing through the tricep stretch. And release. Other side, left arm up and over, patting yourself on the back. Sometimes a girl's got to do it for herself. And grabbing your right, with your right hand, your left elbow. And gently pulling back. Stretching out the left tricep, which feels good. Hopefully it feels good for you. It's not something we're terribly used to stretching out, so it's a nice, unusual feeling. And lowering down, let's place our hands on our knees this time. And bringing our chin to our chest, bringing the spine to the back of our body for a seated cat. Using our knees, holding on to our knees as we're doing this to keep ourselves from falling backwards and allowing a little bit of a stretch. And then bringing the chest forward and head up, looking up at the ceiling. Seated cow. Rolling the spine to the back, holding on to those knees, bringing the shoulders forward and chin to chest. Seated cat. Spine moving forward, belly out, broad across the shoulder blades, looking up. One more time, seated cat, rounding the spine to the back, chin to chest, and then rounding things forward, opening up across the collarbones, looking up to the sky, and back to a neutral spine. Let's tip the chin to the chest. And then rolling the head to the left so that the left ear is near the left shoulder. You can have your hands gently resting on your knees still here if you'd like. Rolling the head down, pass through center, over to the right, right ear to right shoulder. Breathing through this rotation. Back down through the center, chin to chest. Rolling over to the other side, to the left, left ear to left shoulder. Pass through center, chin to chest, over to the right. Let's do one more time on either side. Over to the left. And breathe. Exhale, pass through center, over to the right. And then chin down to the chest one more time, and gently placing the hands on the back of the head. Hands are clasped, back of the head, gently pushing down, not really heavy, just a light added weight. And then releasing and head back up to a neutral position. Let's take the right arm up and over, patting ourselves on the back, or actually pat yourself sort of in between your shoulder blades, just at the lower part of your neck. And then take the left arm, bring it around behind you, fingertips up, and moving into Gomukhasana arms. So bringing the fingertips either in the same direction as one another, like diagonal across your back body, touching, or maybe you can actually interlink your fingertips. right elbow to the sky. If you're happy here, you can stay here. If you'd like to try a little bit more, you can lengthen up your spine on the inhale, and then hinging at the hips, leading with your heart coming forward. And then you can either stay here, or if you want to round down and relax down into the mat or into the floor, you can. And leading with your heart coming back up. And release. Maybe shake those arms out a little bit. Let's take the left arm, bring it up, and patting yourself in between your shoulder blades, sort of on the lower part of your neck. Bring the right arm behind and upwards, fingertips yearning towards the left fingertips, touching the left fingertips, or gently clasping the left fingertips. And breathing here. Now, we never want to feel any pain, but certainly we may feel a little bit of challenge in this pose. There's a bit of challenge, that's good. You don't want pain. So if there's a little bit of challenge, you can breathe through it. And you can stay here, or if you'd like, inhale and lengthen the spine, and then exhale, leading with the heart coming forward, and then rounding down if that's comfortable for you. And we do the leading with the heart thing to prevent compression in the bottom of the lower spine. And leading with the heart coming back up. Let's release the arms and shake them out a little bit. Let's do some side body flows, placing the right hand gently on the mat beside your right hip, bringing the left arm up and overhead, and then gently lowering the left arm and bringing the right arm up and over. Try to roll back the shoulder. Lower the right, lift the left, rolling that shoulder back. We don't want the shoulder moving forward. Floating it down, and in your own time, just gently floating side to side. Getting some movement in your arms, in your shoulders, in your side body, and in your hips a little bit too. Breathing as you're doing that. And then gently, when you're ready, coming to a pause. From here, before we move into tabletop, let's do a nice gentle twist. So let's bring the right hand behind your right glute, about a foot away from your right glute. Taking the left hand and placing the back of the left hand just above the right knee. On the inhale, lengthen your spine, crown of the head to the sky, and exhale and look right. Inhale and lengthen the spine, crown of the sky. Exhale and twist right, looking over the right shoulder. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale and twist. And coming back through center. This time we'll take the left hand and place it about a foot behind that left hip. Bringing the right hand, placing the back of the right hand just above the left knee. Lengthen up that spine on the inhale. Exhale and twist to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Watch your shoulders. Try to lower down the shoulders, they're not near your ears. One more time, lengthen and inhale. Exhale and twist. And back through center. Let's move on into tabletop. So in tabletop, we're going to be mindful of our position. Our knees are under our hips and our wrists are under our shoulders. And our hands are spread, fingers are spread for extra added stability. We'll take the weight of our body more into the left hand and lifting up the right hand, bringing the right fingertips towards our body, and then gently placing the bottom of the right hand onto the mat. So our palm is looking up at us and our fingertips are towards our body, and gently placing pressure on that right hand. So not all the pressure by any means, most of the pressure still on the left. Just a nice gentle stretch in the top of the wrist and the forearm. And then lifting the hand up and placing it back down, shifting the weight into the right this time, picking the left hand up, placing the back of the left hand on the mat, fingertips pointing towards our knees, and gently placing it down, just with enough pressure to create a nice stretch in the bottom of your, or in the top of your left hand and in the top of the left forearm. And then picking that up and moving back into tabletop. From here, let's take the right foot and placing the foot so that the toes are pointing off to the side, directly off to the side, and our heel is basically in line with our left ankle. So our right ankle is in line with our left ankle and our toes are pointing away from the mat. From here, let's take the right hand and place it on the inner right thigh and then gently lean back. And you can adjust your heel a bit. If you want a heel toe more towards your left toes, you can. To the back of the mat, you can. And you can lean back a little more if you like to find a point that is comfortably challenging for you. The left arm is straight and strong. You have keep a micro bend in the left arm at least. We don't like the joints being locked in yoga if we can avoid it. Breathe as we stretch out the right inner thigh. This to me is kind of like the tricep stretch. It's a bit odd. We're not used to doing this either, but it's good. It's good. Stretching out things that aren't used to being stretched out. And come back to tabletop. Doing the same on the other side. So left heel just outside of the mat on and parallel to the right ankle, with the toes facing away from the mat, and placing the left hand on the inner left thigh, and then gently leaning back, heel toeing the left foot either further back behind you or adjusting it a little closer as you know is comfortable for you. Breathing through that left inner thigh stretch. Maybe you're feeling a bit in the left hip too, that's possible. And coming back to tabletop. Let's bring the right heel forward, so right leg straight out in front of you with the heel on the mat and the toes pointing towards the sky. Let's ensure our hips are in line, parallel with the front of the mat, half Hanuman, and our right leg is straight-ish, more or less straight, or at least going in that direction with a bit of a micro bend in the knee. Toes flexed, foot flexed. If this is enough for you, you can stay here, or if you'd like, you lengthen on the inhale. And then exhale and lower down over the leg. If you chose to come over the leg, if you need to bend your knee a little bit to kind of, make it a bit easier for you, I'm not going to tell anybody, you can totally do that. and leading with your heart, coming back up. And now let's take the right heel and bring it over to the left side of the mat with the toes pointing inward towards the center of the mat. We're going for an IT band stretch here. Lengthen on the inhale. And if you want to come down over the leg on the exhale, you can. Breathing in that stretch along the IT band on the outer side of your right leg. Try to relax and breathe here. And then coming up, leading with your heart, bringing the heel so that it's directly out in front, half Hanuman again. And let's move back to tabletop. From here, let's take the left leg, straighten it out straight in front of you, heel on the mat, toes up in the air, foot flexed. Being mindful of our hips, that our hips are in line with the front of the mat. That may necessitate you to slide your left leg back just a little bit so that your left hip isn't, closer to the top of the mat than your right. And you can stay here or on the inhale, lengthen the spine through the crown of the head and exhale down and over the leg. Whew. Oh boy, I feel it there. And if you feel it here too, just breathe through. Breathe through. If it's too much, ease off, but if it's enough of a challenge, just breathe through it. And inhale, coming back up. Bringing the heel over to the right this time with the toes pointed towards the center of the mat. Checking the alignment of your hips. I know this is a little bit trickier, but we want to make sure it's squarish to the front of the mat. And you can stay here if this is a good place to hang out, or inhale and lengthen. And exhale and fold. And coming up, leading with the heart, bringing the heel out to half Hanuman, so straight out in front of you, and then back to tabletop. Looking at your alignment, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We did seated cat-cow, but now let's do the tabletop version. So we'll drop our belly down, lift our tail up, and pushing into our hands, looking up, broadening across the collarbones. Cow pose. And then on the exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, chin to chest, pushing into the hands. Stretching out the shoulder blades a little bit as you push into the hands for cat. Dropping the belly into cow. Exhale, cat. Pushing into the hands, engaging the abs. Dropping the belly one more time in a cow. And cat. And neutral spine. Let's do a lateral spinal stretch to balance it out. So bringing the right shoulder and right hip together, making a C shape with your body, looking over the right shoulder, pushing into the hands to keep the front of the body nice and stable. Passing through center. And C shape left, bringing left shoulder and left hip together, looking over the left shoulder. Passing through center. C shape right. Oh, woo. Little hip pop there, that's always fun. Passing through center. C shape left. Passing through center. One more time, C-shape right. Passing through center. And C-shape left. And back to tabletop, neutral spine. From here, let's make sure our knees stay under our hips as we walk our hands forward to the top of the mat into puppy dog pose. And in puppy dog pose, you can do this a couple of ways. You can keep the strength in your arms and keep your head in between your biceps while also simultaneously trying to separate your shoulders from your ears so you don't have the shoulders up right against your ears. Or if you want to relax down, relax your forearms down, relax your forehead down. You can do that in a more passive way. That's okay too. Kind of depends on what you're feeling like today. And breathe and enjoy wherever it is that you're at. And coming back to tabletop. And then coming onto your belly. And when you get onto your belly, bring your arms straight out in front of you. Keep your legs straight behind you. And from here, we're going to do alternating Superman arms and legs. So lifting the right leg and the left arm and the head. Gently lower. Next time, lifting the head, left leg, and right arm. And gently lower. And you can either continue to alternate arms and legs and lifting up the head, and that's okay. Or if you'd like to lift both arms, both legs, and head, and pretend you're Superwoman, that's good too. And breathe as you're going through the pose. And gently lowering to the ground. From here, let's bring the arms alongside your body so that the hands are sort of touching your upper outer thighs. And being conscious of your pelvis rooted into the mat, engaging your glutes and lifting up your legs into a half locust. And breathing. And then gently lower down. And on the next round, if you want to do half locust again, so pelvis into the mat, engaging the glutes, lifting the legs. Or if you want, you can lift the chest, lift the head, and bring the arms alongside your body, but active with the fingertips actively pointing towards your toes. Rolling back your shoulders and looking just sort of at the top of your mat. So not like cocking your head up or like bringing your chin to chest, but just slightly looking up. Keeping your neck fairly neutral. And gently with control, lower down. And then placing your hands on the mat and pushing back into child's pose. So knees mat width apart, toes together. Bringing the sitting bones on top of your heels and arms straight out in front of you. And you can either stay here and chill, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you'd like, you can walk the hands to the left. Both right and left hands to the left. And if you want to, you can stack right hand on top of left. We want to make sure our sitting bones remain close to our heels. Stretching out the right side body. then walking the hands through center, past center, over to the right. Sitting bones, still staying with the heels and either having arms, hands side by side or stacking, this time left on top of right. Stretching out the left side of the body this time. And then back to child's pose in the center. Back to tabletop. From here, let's bring the right foot forward in between the hands. Coming up to crescent lunge, so biceps by the ears, palms facing one another, fingertips to the sky. Shoulders down and away from your ears. And then you can place your hands or your right forearm perhaps on the lower part of your top right thigh, just above your knee. And you can stay here, or you can reach back with your left hand, grab your left foot, and have a little bit of a quad stretch while we're here. If you're having trouble with balance, you can always bring your right fingertips to the mat. That can be helpful. And you can adjust, either shifting your body forward or backward a little bit to either intensify or relax the stretch. And breathe. And then gently lowering the back foot and coming up into a low lunge, tucking your back toes. Hands still framing the front foot. And then making sure you're feeling stable in your feet, coming up to a high lunge. So torso head to sky, knee over heel in the front. And then let's pivot the back foot to keep the back foot parallel to the back of the mat, and making sure our front foot, the heel is in line with the back arch. Front knee over top of front heel, and make sure you can see your right big toe. If you can't, move your knee off to the right a little bit. And then bringing the arms out into a T. We're in Warrior Two, looking over the right fingertips. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Dropping the left hand, raising the right arm up and over, peaceful warrior. Keeping the knees and legs exactly as they are. Looking up at the ceiling. Back to Warrior Two. Feeling nice and strong in the arms, checking your knee over heel. Make sure you can see that big toe, front big toe. And then bringing the hands to heart center, let's pivot the feet, the right foot so it's parallel to the left. And let's step those feet together. And I know Allison likes her balancing poses, so this one's for you. For all of you, of course, but you may wish to come near a wall. That can be helpful just in terms of confidence and feeling stable. Let's shift our weight into our left foot. So doing that, we're going to make sure that we can feel all four corners of the foot. What that means is the back of the heel either side and the balls of the feet either side, nice and stable in the mat. And then lift the toes and spread them, and then drop them down to make the toes nice and spread, which is a better stability base for you. And then bring up the right heel towards your glute, grabbing it with your right hand. And so you're balancing on the left leg and doing a front right quad stretch. Your heel is near your glute. If you want to try moving away from the wall or moving your hand off the wall, I like to have my hand at half prayer position, the left hand at half prayer position, and focusing on a spot on the floor that's not going to move. Now hinging at the hips, bringing the left arm forward and the right foot back. This is dancer pose. And slowly coming up. And then drop the foot. And if you were to do that by still holding on to the wall, there's no harm in that. You could try it one more time before we move back into warrior one. So bringing the hand to half prayer, if you wish to, or having the hand on the wall. Feeling stable in the foot. I'm actually going to move off my mat, so I'm more stable on the floor. That's better. You can do so too if you wish. Sometimes the mat, actually, because it's spongy, makes it a little harder. And then hinging at the hips, bringing the left arm forward. And the right leg back. And then coming back up. If you were a little tippy, I was a little tippy today. It happens. This is why it's yoga practice, not yoga perfect. And from here, let's bring the left foot 45 degrees off to the side. So off to the left side of the mat. Bring the right foot forward, knee over heel. And square the hips to the front. Bring the arms up to high prayer. We're in warrior one. And then bringing the hands down to a low lunge, framing the front foot, and back to tabletop. All right, other side. Let's bring the left foot forward in between the hands. Bringing the hands up, arms up, biceps by ears, lifting up through the chest, almost like someone sort of grabbing you by the underarms and lifting you up. Crescent lunge. You can bring the left forearm onto the left leg, or if you want to rest your left fingertips on the mat, you can do that too. And then move into a quad stretch by reaching back with the right hand and grabbing the right foot. And breathing through the stretch, you can try bringing your body a little bit forward or back, bringing the heel a little bit more or less into your glute as you find what works for you. Breathing through the stretch. Gently placing the right foot down, framing the front foot with the hands, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, low lunge. And then making sure you feel stable in your feet and coming up to a high lunge. And pivoting the back foot so that it's parallel to the back of the mat. Left knee over heel. Make sure you see that left big toe. Warrior two, arms out to a T. Looking over the left fingertips. Dropping the right hand, lifting the left hand up and over, peaceful warrior. Looking up at the ceiling. Back to warrior two. Pivoting the left foot parallel to the right foot. And stepping it together. We're going to do dancer on the other side. So again, you can be near the wall, you can step off the mat. But making sure that your right foot feels stable this time. Spreading those right toes, shifting the weight into the right foot. And then placing either the hand on the wall or your right hand at half prayer. Reaching for your left foot, bringing left heel in your left glute. Finding that spot on the floor that's not going to move. A few feet in front of you. Then bringing the arm forward, hinging at the hips. Dancer pose, kicking the right foot into the left foot into the left hand. with control, coming back up. If you'd like, you can do it one more time. Making sure that right foot is stable. Grabbing the left foot with your left hand. And if you want to stay here and that's enough, that's great too. Or you can hinge at the hips, bring the right arm forward and the left leg back. And gently coming up. I was a little less tippy on that side today. Maybe you feel a difference from one side to the other as well. Or maybe it was just a little easier the second time around. Let's bring the right foot this time so it's off to a 45-degree angle. And step the left foot forward, knee over heel, bringing the hips square to the front of the mat, bringing the arms at high prayer into warrior one. Then bringing the hands down, low lunge, and back to tabletop. From tabletop, let's walk the hands forward just a little and take the right foot and step it to the outside of the right hand. Lizard pose. You can either stay here or come down on your forearms. And this is a great place to hang out, nothing wrong with this. But if you'd like to tuck your back toes and lift your back knee, you can do that too. And that gives your abs a little bit of a say in the matter, I suppose. And breathe. And if you lifted the knee, gently lowering it down. And if you're on your forearms, coming back to your hands, and then back to tabletop. And from here, let's walk the hands forward a little bit again, bringing the left foot this time beside the outer left hand, lizard other side. And it's perfectly good to hang out here if this is where you're good. And if you want, you can come down onto your forearms and take a breath or two here. And if you want to, you can tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Breathe, 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 breathe. Dropping the back knee if you lifted it, and coming back to your hands if you went to your forearms. And back to tabletop. And from here, let's come to a seat and bring your legs straight out in front of you. So staff pose. So making sure we can feel our sitting bones. We don't have to move the flesh away. Just let's see, make sure we can feel ourselves rooted. Our spine is nice and long. Our shoulders are down. Our crown of our head is to the sky. And then nice inhale and lengthen. And then exhale and fold by hinging at the hips and coming down over the legs. And then relaxing the head down. Keeping the feet flexed. And as you're hanging out here, if you want to attempt to bring the head a little closer to the feet or bring the hands a little further down your legs, closer to your feet, you can. Or if it's a little much, you can back off. That's okay too. And then leading with the heart coming back up. From here, let's separate the feet wide. And feeling again our sitting bones in the mat. Nice long spine, crown of the head to the sky. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale, coming forward, leading with your heart. And you may come down onto your hands. Try and keep your spine nice and long as you do. Onto your forearms or further down if you like. And you can adjust your legs further apart or closer together as you need to and feels good for you. And as you're breathing and settling into this pose, you may feel that, holy cats, this is too much, I need to come up, or you may go, oh, actually, I feel like I can either go a little bit further down, a little deeper. Just pay attention to how you're feeling and listen to your body and what it's trying to tell you. Feet should be flexed. And then let's slowly walk our hands to the left leg. And lengthen our spine on the inhale and lower down over the left leg as is comfortable and accessible for you. You may wish to grab the outer part of the left foot with the right hand if you want to. And if that's accessible for you. And if not, wherever your arms and hands are at, that's totally okay. Let's walk the hands to the middle and then over to the right this time. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale and come down over the right leg to the extent that is pleasantly challenging for you. Breathing through any tension you might feel or sensation you might feel. Easing off if there is more than pleasant sensation. If it hurts, back off. And the longer you're in it, the more you may be able to relax down into it, which is great if you can, and if not, that's cool too. And back to center. And leading with your heart, coming back up. Bringing the feet together. Coming onto your back with your knees to the sky. Feet on the ground, on the mat. Bringing your hands underneath your glutes, palms flat onto the mat. And then lifting up the hips into bridge pose. You can either keep your hands, your palms firmly into the mat. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips. You don't want the knees splaying out on either side. And if you want a little bit more, you can clasp your hands under your glute and roll your shoulder blades, your shoulders sort of in towards one another, opening up across the chest as you lift your hips to the sky. And breathe. Gently lower down. And let's hug our knees into our chest. Just rocking back and forth a little bit. Giving your lower back a little bit of a massage. From here, let's lengthen out the left leg so it's flat along the mat in front of you and your left toes are pointed to the sky. Your right leg is still hugged into your body, and let's point and flex the right foot, right toes just a little bit. Pointing and flexing of your foot like this, especially if you're actually doing it while standing on the floor and then lifting up your heels. It's actually apparently very, very good for maintaining healthy circulation in your legs, preventing varicose veins and things of that nature. And coming to a gentle stop with the foot flexing. Let's bring the right knee across to the left of your body. You'll probably have to lift up your hips a little bit to do that. So right knee across your body. And here we want to keep our shoulders on the mat. You may have your left hand on top of your right knee to ground it a little bit more. If you want to stay here, you can. If you want to try something a little bit different, you can extend your right leg long, grab your right big toe with your left arm, and then kicking your left heel into your glute and grab your left heel with your right hand and bringing the shoulders onto the mat. And this is called cat pulling its tail, which is kind of a funny name for it, but I guess I can kind of see how they got that. And breathe. Couple breaths here. And then unwind and bring both hips, lift them up and place them back on the mat. This time lengthening your right leg straight out in front and grabbing the left leg and hugging it in. Let's point and flex the left toes, making sure the right foot is flexed and the toes are to the ceiling. And bring the toe flexing to a gentle stop. And bringing that left knee over to the right side of your body, lifting up your hips if you need to, you probably will, to create a nice long line from your head straight through your body into the left leg. Gently placing the right hand on your left knee. And you can stay here, or if you want to straighten out that left leg, and grab your left big toe with your right hand. And then kicking your right heel into your glute and grabbing it with your left hand. And then bringing shoulders to the mat. You can totally bypass this cat pulling its tail stuff and you can just stay in the twist as you are. That's okay. Breathe and try to settle in wherever you are. And then gently unwind. And come into Shavasana. Tucking the shoulder blades under, rolling your shoulders back, keeping them down and away from your ears. Palms to the sky. Arms a little bit away from your body. Feet apart, feet slightly off to each side. Relaxing your face. Relaxing your shoulders and your chest and your arms. Relaxing your back and your belly and your glutes. Relaxing all down your legs, right to your feet and your toes. In yoga, we often hear a lot or think a lot about the lotus flower. And the lotus flower is special because it grows in a muddy, mucky environment. And up out of the mud grows this beautiful, pure, clean-looking flower. The analogy being no matter what environment you find yourself in, you're always able to grow and grow into something beautiful. And so thinking about our mantra at the beginning of class and the start of spring and all the wonderful growth and promise that it holds, I invite you to think about the concept of blooming where you're planted with grace, and maybe thinking about how you yourself want to grow over the next season and over the year ahead. This growth is a beautiful thing. And with that, let's place our feet on the mat, knees to the sky, rolling over to one side, using your arms as a pillow. And then pushing up with your hands into a seat.